Hello friends, welcome back to another vlog. This week we're just gonna be hanging out, chilling, doing some relaxing activities, some fall things. It is my birthday this week and it's also Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna try my best to not lift a finger and to just relax and do the hobbies and activities that I enjoy. I did have some friends over this past weekend. It's now Tuesday, but I had some friends over, which was lovely, but you know, hosting and all that is just not relaxing. It's a lot of work, you know? So I didn't feel like I got my relaxation, rejuvenation time in. So we're doing that this week. It's now Tuesday. I have been diligently reading Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This is a book that I hauled in my last vlog, and I'm hoping to finish it this week, and we can hopefully talk about it. I also have some horror manga that I'm going to hopefully get through this week to get me in the spooky October mood. That is on the agenda this week. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. I'm really just not up for it. So let's get into the vlog. Okay, let me show you a little bit of what I've been also working on. I had a sudden urge late one night to redo like all my cable management and switch around my desk so that I could use it actually as a standing desk for once, because normally the cords for my PC are all too short. So I'll show you what I've done. We have put my PC on this little IKEA drawer unit, and then we have some ugly cable management. It doesn't look as clean as it once did. I also switched my monitor so it's no longer a vertical monitor. It's now like that, but I don't think it looks too bad. Honestly, it's really nice having the extra like size, because a lot of apps and programs and stuff need to be viewed like horizontally, you know. The vertical configuration just doesn't really work. So we did all that. God, everything's looking really ugly right now. And then I bought a new I bought a new cable tray that's a little bit more like opaque instead of like a cage. And right now everything is a mess because I have extra stuff plugged in, but it makes it so you can't see as much of the wiring, which is good, but I mean, it still looks bad. Like, I need to be able to plug things in. I need to be able to plug things in and take them out, so I can't like fully tie up all of my cables, you know? Like some people fully tuck them away, tie them up and forget about them, but I need to be able to unplug things, so I can't really do that, and that's why it looks the way it does. Anyway, that's the new setup for now. I'm just working, so I'm not showing you my work laptop over there, but yeah. Okay, anyway, let's talk a little bit about Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This is an adult fantasy novel. It is the prequel to the Divine Rivals duology, but not in the way that like it deals with any of the characters. It's set in the realm of the gods. So we have the underling gods, the gods of the underworld, and then we have the skyward gods, who are the gods of the sky. And they are kind of enemies. And then there's also the mortal realm. We follow Matilda, who is a new goddess of the underling realm. And her magic, her power, is that she is able to travel between all of the realms. So she's able to go up into the skyward realm, which is not something that's normally able to be done. Usually if the two opposing sides have to meet, they have to meet in the mortal realm. So our story follows her, and she begins to enter somehow these dreams of this mortal boy named Vincent, and they're around the same age at the start of the novel. They're like 13, 14, and they develop this really cute relationship, this really cute friendship. He has a lot of nightmares, and somehow she's able to like enter into his dreams and like pull him out of his nightmares. And I'm only about 100 pages in, and their relationship is still, it's very innocent, it's very early on, but stuff has happened in the under realm with Matilda's mother and with Dacre, who is the lord of the underling realm, who we do know from Divine Rivals. We know the Dacre and Enva, the goddess of music, I think that's her name. So they're in this as well, but Dacre is very much to be feared, and basically shit kind of hit the fan with this like black market operation that Matilda's mother and her ally had found themselves in, and Matilda is needing to flee now. She's needing to flee, and she just found out who her father is, and her father is not of the underling realm, let's just say. So she is escaping for her life, and that is where I've left off in the book so far. I know that there is probably going to be a time jump because the book follows Matilda and Vincent when they're older. So as of this point, things have kind of fallen into disarray. You know, it's very much like the inciting incident has occurred. And honestly, I was pretty gagged at what happened. It was crazy. And I have cried 100 pages into the book. So far, the writing is just beautiful. Like, best of the best, truly just so immersive and magical, and you really feel like you're following these gods and goddesses, but the language of the story just pairs so well with the kind of otherworldly, magical setting that you're in. It feels like it blends all of these aspects together so well, and it's just so luxurious. It feels luxurious to read. And I'm so excited to see how the plot progresses because honestly, like, there's a lot of action now, and I'm gripped. I'm very gripped. I'm loving it so far. That is the 112 page mark. I'm still on part 1 of the book. I think there's 5 parts or something. So yeah, I will update you when I read more, probably tonight after work. And then yeah, that's about it for now. I feel like my hair has so many weird cowlicks happening right now. Anyway, let me pull up my notes that I wrote. Okay, so Wild Reverence. I read, oh my gosh, where did I leave off? I read somewhere around 400 pages of this yesterday. I didn't mean to read it all at once, but once I really got into the story, I literally couldn't put it down. I think I left off talking about when Matilda and Vincent were children. So it does do a big time jump. Basically, shit hits the fan and Matilda, her entire life changes. The alliances that she once had are very tumultuous, and basically you can't trust anybody in the godly realms. So she's not able to visit Vincent's dreams anymore. After certain events happen, she's no longer able to do that. So Matilda, she is the herald of the gods. So she is on a very important mission when they're still young. So she is traveling and she comes across Vincent IRL for the very first time. That's when he learns that she is a goddess. And they meet in person, and then shortly after they meet, shit hits the fan and she has to change a lot of things about her life, and then they don't see each other for 13 years. He kind of forgets about her. She doesn't forget about him, but she's once again tasked with a mission that is specifically for him. So she has to leave again and go find him. They reunite, and it is a beautiful love story. I will say, I think people online say the ending of it is tragic and sad, but it's not. There are very emotional moments, and it's very emotionally charged, but it's not a sad ending. I don't know if that's a spoiler. A lot of it is to do with Matilda navigating this world and these godly politics. There's a lot of betrayal that happens. There's a lot of rules to follow and what to follow, what to break. For Vincent, in his world, he has a lot of mistrust towards the gods. He has a lot of resentment to them. He had a lot of tragedy in his past with his family, also dealing with betrayal and stuff. So he's lived a very hard life and he's become very hardened. But let me get into my notes. First off, there is so much action in this book. That's part of the reason why I couldn't stop reading it, because once Matilda gets her mission to go see Vincent when they're both adults, it is a matter of days that passes. There's so much action. It's really juicy and entertaining. Usually I don't like books that have that. There are more time jumps later on, but a lot of the core events of the book take place over a few days. And usually I don't like that because I feel a lot of the melodrama when it comes to their love story, it's not earned. Not enough time has passed. Especially the fact that she is immortal. She's a goddess. So time for them especially is completely different than how it is for mortals. So how could she, as a goddess, develop such intense feelings for a mortal over the span of a week? But I guess you could defend it by saying that they've known each other for the majority of their life. They met when they were so young, so there are arguments to be had, I suppose. I wrote, I hate when the characters have an opportunity to kill the enemy, but they don't, and instead they just listen to them talk, and like they want to give them a second chance, and then that like bites them in the ass 5 seconds later. There are so many hurdles in the book that could have been avoided, but yeah, that happens a lot in this, and it's kind of like, how could you not see? How could you not see that you just can't trust that person? Why wouldn't you take the opportunity to just kill them? It would save you so much strife. I wrote, this is potentially a spoiler. I'll put like a spoiler thing over when I'm talking about the spoiler, but it's a very romantic book. It's very romantic. I would say the writing style also is like just romantic and lush, and it reminds me a lot of Song of Achilles and Circe, so Madeline Miller's writing. Also Juliette Marillier's writing is just very beautiful, but especially Madeline Miller because she does write like Greek mythology retellings. The mythology in this is very interesting and fun to read about. But the spoiler, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. A lot of the romantic dynamic that happens in this book, it reminded me personally a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean 3, the love story between Will and Elizabeth, and particularly the duty that Will has to pay at the end of the movie. Oh my god, y'all, my camera stopped recording. I don't remember what I was saying. So annoying. Okay, so spoiler over. I wrote that I love Warren. What a fun character. I wrote that the plot twists and betrayals are a little obvious, and it makes the characters seem a bit dumb for not realizing. I stand by that. I wrote that since she is a herald, there's a large portion of the book where she's forced to travel around, so there's a lot of distance sometimes between the main couple, but it just makes the time they do spend together that much better. And yeah, distance is kind of like a main component theme of this book, and like how sometimes even when they're together, they're a million miles apart, you know, because he's immortal and she's a goddess. I wrote that I love when the guy simps and yearns for the girl. This book also has one of my favorite tropes, one of my favorite romance tropes. I'm not gonna say what it is. If you want, you can go hunting online for it, but I just loved it. It was so juicy. And my main thought while reading this book was, oh my god, this is so tea. Like, there's so much drama. It's so juicy. It's so entertaining. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens, and I just ate it up. I loved it. And I wrote that the way that this book ties into Divine Rivals is very cute. Since this is technically a prequel, you know, you don't have to read Divine Rivals to read it, but there is just a portion in the epilogue that links it lore-wise. But other than that, you can read it on its own. I think it's totally fine. And yeah, this is like a top 3 book that I read this year. I haven't read much compared to previous years, but I have read some bangers. I think this is like a top 3 contender, and maybe top 5 might be pushing it, but maybe like top 10 of all time. We'll see. I'll have to sit on it a little bit. I really enjoyed it. It was very good, and I highly recommend if you like romance, if you like mythology, and like a good fantastical world to sink your teeth into. Very fun. Okay, and then other than that, in this video, I mean, I've been so boring all week, but I do have some Junji Ito horror manga downloaded that I want to read. I got a fridge full of pizza night leftovers from last night, and I have my birthday's tomorrow, as well as Thanksgiving, so I'm not really doing anything for that. We're just gonna go see family and want to do like some like a walk, see some fall trees, maybe even some fall decor, and maybe go to a coffee shop. That'll be, yeah, over the course of this weekend. And then Monday I'm getting my hair done, so I will show you the results of that. But yeah, it's been pretty boring over here. I've been really just trying to take it slow and not do too much because I've been very burnt out. But I'm excited to do some fall things. I just really need to push myself. I have to go put my laundry away, put my sheets on my bed, and then we will dive into some of the manga, I think. Hello. I'm in the car going to my hair appointment. It's so early. Oh, it was so dark out when I left. Sorry I don't have my microphone. But here's the hair that we're gonna be chopping off. I'm kind of sad because I actually kind of like my hair right now. But the good news is that hair grows. And if I chop it now and I decide I want to have it long again, it'll grow in like a few months and it'll be fine. It's also the Monday of a long weekend, really early, so there's like no traffic, which is my favorite. Although I do wish I could be sleeping. There are a few things that will get me out of bed this early and out of the house, and one of them is a hair appointment. So my mom is also getting her hair done at the same time, so we're gonna be twinning. There's also a lot of beautiful fall leaves, and it's very sunny today, which is really, really nice. So I might go on a walk after my appointment, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I might cry. Maybe I'll be crying. Maybe I'll put a bag over my head. Oh, you can see some of the trees. Gorgeous, gorgeous trees. There are usually some cows next to her place, but I don't see any right now. No cows. All right, we're here. Whee! I'm a little bit early though, so I'm gonna wait for my mom to get here. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and curate. The light is crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and curate my, I can't see, my inspiration photos on Pinterest because it's all just a big mess right now. All right, I will see you after. Hi friends. I had a lot of plans for today, but you know when you do like a major change in your hair or, you know, something else that is like semi-permanent, and I just need some time to come to terms with it. But all that to say is I'm gonna have just like a really relaxing and chill rest of my Monday. It's the last day of the long weekend, and then I need to work on editing this vlog, if it even goes up. I don't think that I've included anything at all, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna chill for a while. I swear, I promise I did have a lot of plans of things that I wanted to do, but you know, you have to take care of yourself first, and you can't force these things. So I'm feeling a little bit low, so I think I'm gonna watch some Netflix and play on my Switch or something and maybe color. And yeah. Hi friends, here's my hair debut. It's a little bit crazy because the bed head, when you have super short layers, is like out of control, and I don't really know how to handle that. So I'm trying to just let it settle down against my head. But this is the hair. I have sufficiently crashed out about it enough times that, you know, I think I'm okay. I'm gonna take you along for like packing for my Florida trip. There's a few errands I need to run today. I leave in a couple days, and it's a just carry-on trip, but we're gone for like 6 days. 2 of those are pretty much travel days, so like 4 full days. But packing a carry-on is like totally fine up until your trip coincides with a hair wash day, because now suddenly I'm needing to bring like all of my hair products. So I need to go and get, I think, some more little travel sized containers, maybe some like wipes, and yeah, so we're gonna do that. I'm planning on doing like a ton of reading while I'm away, so I will hopefully bring you along for that as well. But for now, I'm gonna have my favorite little morning breakfast snack, which is a croissant with some cheese. Again, I would like to apologize. I feel like I have done literally nothing in this vlog so far, but that's because that is true to life, unfortunately. I haven't been up to a whole lot. It's been really nice these past few days, so I have been trying to get outside and like breathe fresh air, and who would have thought that actually kind of helps my mood? yeah, gonna do like a little baby walk today, I think, before my stream at 3. You get a coffee, go do some returns, go pick up some things I need for travel. And yeah, I feel really bad. I decided that while I'm gone, there's not gonna be a vlog posted, so I'm going off schedule, which I feel bad about. But I mean, you've seen what I've been up to. It's been nothing. There's no footage for me to even put into a vlog, really. So we will commence that once I get back. I realized I really need to be more like flexible and lenient with my channel, otherwise it just ain't gonna last. I feel like such a mom with this haircut, and when I'm wearing my robe, I feel like a mom from like a 90s movie. It's like you have to style it, do your makeup, and put on a cute outfit in order to feel chic. I think I'm gonna grow the layers out, but not the length. The layers kind of make it hard to style. Okay, let's go in and get some work done. I feel like this tripod thing makes the frame go up so high on top of my head. So we've got a bit of croissant. Can you see? Got a bit of croissant and cheese. And now what you do, you tear off a piece of croissant. You open it like so. You make a mess. And then you put a little bit of cheese in there. You make a perfect little croissant bite. It is so good. That's my favorite thing ever. And then having like some raspberries or strawberries or something, or grapes. It makes for a perfect morning. What's on the agenda today? We have to do more packing. I did a little bit of packing earlier this morning because I needed to see what I am missing in terms of packing stuff. So yeah, I know what I need to get now for when we go out. I still need to figure out my outfits. I'm not too worried about that though, because the weather is gonna be quite warm. And also I'm just like with my dad, we're gonna be just like plopping super casual, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of my croissant, and then I will catch up with you again when we're doing more packing or going to the store. All right. Why is it so embarrassing crossing the street when all the cars have to stop for you? I just got home from getting my coffee, and my freaking mic, you can't see it, it pulled a thread out of my sweater just now. I got my coffee. I'm just getting ready to stream. I'm looking at Pinterest. Like, I'm like addicted to Pinterest ever since and like before even when I got my hair done. I wet some of my hair pieces because I think I really dislike this style when it's not super curly. Like when it starts to like smooth out and lose some of the curl, I'm not a fan. Anyway, so I'm just looking at some cuts on Pinterest. It looks like a lot of them are that are similar to mine are labeled as a bixie. I guess that's what I have. But I think I want to grow it to more of like a bob, like a layered bob. I'm gonna try to not use heat on my hair to help it maybe grow faster, but I don't know. Anyway, you live and you learn. I don't dislike it, but it's just a bit shocking. Okay, so we're in the bathroom. I got these from the drugstore. Tell me why these were $20. Like, for what? I just needed a couple extra little thingamabobs. I don't know where, I used to have so many. I don't know where the rest of mine went. Maybe they're at my parents' house, maybe I threw them out. And then I hate makeup wipes, but for traveling, they are just the most convenient. Normally I use a Inky List cleansing balm to remove makeup in the shower, but it's like in a big tube, and I just want to limit. I don't want to buy a bunch more junk like this that I'm not gonna use often, and then they're gonna be difficult to clean out. So we'll just do wipes for travel. I think that's fine. And then I have, don't mind my tub, it has like dust and stuff in it. This is like my current system. I also have one of these like fold out accordion storage things, which is a lifesaver. And then a bunch of these. I think this is the TSA approved, like, what is it, 1 quart size that you have to put the liquids into. And yeah, this is like what I'm bringing for makeup that is liquid. And then I have the rest of my non-liquid makeup in here. I have to put my body lotion and my sunscreen into a container. That's why I bought this all around, guys. And then I have a few extra squeeze tubes that I'm gonna put, I'm putting the day hair stuff and my sunscreen into those round tubes. And then in the 3 squeezy tubes that I have, I'm putting my giant body lotion, shampoo, and conditioner. And I think I'm just gonna bring a hair curler as well. And then I have a bunch of these little jewelry pouches that I'm gonna put my jewelry and some hair clips and stuff. And then I'm bringing my whitening strips. I've been using these, I don't know if you can tell, the past like three days or something, and they don't irritate my teeth, which is a miracle, but they do not have a good adhesive, so they are sliding around, and I have to kind of have like an underbite, like a Keira Knightley underbite, to hold them in place while I have them on. And my mouth produces so much saliva, so it's really gross. I never bring my normal perfumes when I travel, so I'm bringing some of my testers. I have this Jo Malone one. And then this, which is a huge throwback. This used to be like my signature scent back like in high school or something. So I thought we'd bring that back. I have so many perfume samples, so that is that. This is just the rest of the skincare stuff at the front here, except I'm not gonna bring this because I'm going to put my Korean sunscreen in a container. So that's that. I'm gonna do a little bit more clothing packing after stream and stuff. But the toiletries are always the most difficult part for me, so yeah. Good morning. You can see the insane sun right now. It's a little bit too bright for me to be reading on my iPad out here. I can't really see anything. I am enjoying the full amenities. The full amenities of this hotel, including their coffee and their robe and slippers, of course. My issue is that I want to go and read by the pool or something, but I don't have sunscreen, so I need to be in the shade. So hopefully there's shady spots. And right now I'm fully covered and I put sunscreen on my face, so I'm good to be out here. But I just want to do a lot of reading. When I go inside, I'll tell you what I read on the plane and what I brought with me from my TBR. But I think that this ebook, at least on my iPad, isn't going to be a good option. Anyway, I might go inside so that I can read. It's a little too bright. Okay, my sunglasses are still on because I'm just blinded, but let me give you a quick room tour. This is honestly the nicest hotel I've ever been in, and you'll see why. Okay, this is the front door. We love it. As previously stated, we've got the full garb. This is, every light is controlled by a like button. Revolutionary, I know. When you walk in, this is your view. And then the bathroom is just over here to the left. So we have a very nice mirror with lovely wooden paneling, and then our shower, which is great. Honestly, whatever this scent is that they use in the hotel, they also have it like diffusing throughout the hotel, but their like signature scent is really nice. These mirrors make me want to pick my face off because of how they just show like every disgusting bit when you get up close, but whatever. Okay, and then the toilet. It is a full bidet. You have
all of the buttons for the temperatures. You can change the seat temperature. You have a massager. I don't know what that does. You can change the water temperature. You can dry front, back, every crevice. Love it. Love it. Okay, and then yeah, this is the rest of the hotel. It's pretty standard. We have our lovely coffee machine, TV, view, beds, very comfy. There's a lot of really nice ambient lighting too. So like the switches over here, you can change the lighting of like the headboards and around the TV and stuff. So it's very nice. I love it. Okay, so I think the dealio for today is I'm going to go down to the cafe, grab some more coffee and breakfast, and then come up, get a little bit ready, and then we can chat about some books. And I'll probably go down to the pool. There's an adult pool and then a everybody pool, and the everybody pool looks really nice. It has like water slides. I don't want to go on the water slides, but like the ambience is nice. So if there's not like a bunch of noisy kids, I might go there. If not, we will go to the adult pool. All right, let's get changed.
Wow, this is a swanky place. They put my breakfast in a bag like this, and I got an iced coconut milk latte and a fruit cup and a egg white croissant sandwich. But first, I thought I would also share my reading list for this weekend. So on the plane, I read all of The Last Supper by Rachel Cusk. This is a book that I started in like a previous vlog months ago. It's very summery. Like it's summer in Italy, so it's kind of like I'm not always in the mood to read it, especially if it's not summer anymore where I am. So I finished that. I had like maybe 200 pages or something, and it was really good. I liked it. It was a lot of stuff about, you know, her family and their experience traveling through Italy. A lot of controversial opinions, I would say, or like hot takes, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. A lot of ugly, actually. But if you enjoy kind of reading some people's like darkest, deepest, dirtiest thoughts, I would give it a try. The other book I have on my iPad, which I was trying to put onto my e-reader, but I couldn't quite get it to load with my library card, is The Bewitching. Here's my sandwich. And that one I think is like a witchy tale between 3 generations. I think they're all related, and it all kind of somehow comes together in the end. That one I think is due, the loan is due in like 4 days, so I kind of wanted to read it, but reading on the iPad is hard because it's not as portable and you can't really read it out when it's sunny out. So I have another option. This one is A Far Better Thing by H.G. Parry. This is probably going to be like my pool beach read. And then I was thinking I would read The Bewitching on the plane ride back, but it's probably going to be due by then. And then the other issue is that you're supposed to stow away your laptops and like large tablets during takeoff and landing. So it's like hard to dig everything out once the plane is in the sky. If you're like me and you bring accidentally like a huge backpack that's under the seat. Oh, that's another thing. The carry-on bag that I thought was carry-on because it was a gift to my boyfriend from my parents, and it was, I thought, a carry-on and a larger checked bag, but there's no carry-on. The bag I brought is not a carry-on, so I had to check it, which sucks. The bag is like not even full at all. Like I should have just borrowed somebody's carry-on, but I didn't know. You know, when you don't have any size to relate it to, I thought that it was the right size, and I even measured it, and the measurements were like slightly off but not super off, so I thought it would be fine, but unfortunately it's not. And the bag is like half empty anyway, so that sucks. And that also means that I could have brought a lot more liquids because I was having a horrible time packing and having a horrible time, like I didn't bring like hand cream and I didn't bring all my skincare stuff that I wanted, and my skin has not been good. I didn't bring myself tan drops, so my face is getting pale. Anyway, it's okay. But I'm gonna enjoy this and then get ready to go down to the pool, I think, and just sit there and read. Okay, we've come back out to the deck to continue reading. and I got a Gatorade. Oh my god, I look so pale. I look like the Crypt Keeper. Who knows that reference? Okay, we got another coffee this morning. Wow, the background looks really like funky. It's very funky. And then I also got a fruit cup and I also got a croissant. And that's gonna have to be my breakfast. I woke up much later today because I had 2 margaritas yesterday, which I don't drink. So that like made me sleep forever and be really tired. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do my makeup and fix my hair. And I thought we could talk about the book that I was reading yesterday. I honestly didn't read that much. I think I'm still like sub page 100, like I'm on page like 90 something. I just kept getting so distracted at the swimming pool, and afterwards I was like, I don't know. There's like too much hullabaloo, but I'm going to just like get ready for the day and probably go back to the pool. I think this time I'm gonna go to the kids' pool and find a quiet spot. I think I look so pale because I put sunscreen on and it has a little tiny bit of a white cast. But anyway, don't mind me. I'm gonna be doing my makeup. So I'm gonna look crazy for a second. A Far Better Thing by H.G. Parry. So I got this recommendation from Reagan at Peruse Project. Okay, that was too much. And she had nothing but really good things to say about the book. And I have to say that I agree. I included... Oh my god. Just trust the process, okay? So I included a couple of clips of like dialogue from our main character who genuinely makes me giggle. I love like sarcasm and a dry sense of humor when it's done well. When it's done well, not like to the point of being annoying, but once in a while, like a quippy response, I love. So I enjoy seeing the world through the main character's point of view, who he is a man. Trigger warning. I don't think I fully like understood what the story would be about when I read the blurb, but it follows our main character whose name is Sydney. He was taken to the fairy realm as a child. And so if you're familiar with like fae, they take a human child to the fairy realm. They leave behind what's called a changeling. And this is where I have a little bit of confusion. I guess I'm not well versed in fairy lore. But the changeling that they leave behind is like similar to how the fae are like otherworldly beautiful. The changelings are like the same as the babies that have been taken or the children that have been taken, but just like a whole lot more beautiful. And they always have like these crazy blue eyes. Think of the Miley Cyrus meme. And they basically like take the place of the child who was taken. So they live a stolen life, essentially. I think. I don't know. If any of you know more about that stuff than me, then please feel free to correct me in the comments. Our story follows Sydney, who practices law in London, and he was taken as a 2 or 3-year-old or something. So he wasn't taken as a baby, so he actually does have some semblance of a memory of his life before he was taken, and he lived in the realm for like 13 years, and then they released him when he became older. And you either have the choice to like become fae yourself or become a mortal servant. So essentially he has to like find human bones to give the fae when they like want them, because they need them for something in the fae realm. So that is his gig. He's never truly alone. He's always kind of shackled by the fae who are using him. And one day he is at court and he comes across the accused, who is his changeling. It looks like him. The name is different. He's from France and he looks just like a whole lot better, healthier than our main character. The changeling's name is Charles. And so this is a very unlikely event in, with the fae, because they're kind of like almost all-knowing of stuff that goes on in the mortal realm. Like it's hard to trick them and have things slip by unnoticed. And it's not really procedure for people to come across their changelings in the real world. This is a very inciting incident, you could say. And the other super weird thing that happened is that his childhood
friend, his childhood love, who died tragically as a young girl. I think she died like in the fave realm. Anyway, she has a changeling in the mortal realm, and her changeling was also in this trial as one of the witnesses. So his childhood friend's changeling was there and his changeling. Things are getting very juicy. And there's a whole bunch of drama with like people involved, people who might also be mortal servants. There's a fae character who is kind of like watching over, ominously, he's watching over Sydney, and he will request, bones and stuff, but then he starts requesting other things for Sydney to do, and Sydney is their servant, so he has to go and do these things, and it's honestly like a little bit riveting. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, the plot is plotting, the setting I'm really liking. It's taking place late 1700s, I think, across London and France. And now I'm really bad at history. Like, if you tell me a date, unless it's like 20th century, like 1900s, I know the history of the 1900s fairly well. Anything beyond that, I don't know what the fashion is. I don't know what the cities look like. I don't know if they have cars yet. It's hard for me to like instantly pinpoint what society and what cities and what people are like during a certain time period. I should probably look it up. I'm just picturing like Les Mis kind of as the setting. I don't know if that's accurate though. But that also takes place around the French Revolution, right? There's a lot of names that we're introduced to at the beginning. Some of it gets a little confusing. Since I was very distractible in my pool chair yesterday, I did have to reread pages like over and over again because I was like, wait, I'm not absorbing these names and like the events that are happening. But then I would reread it and I'd be like, oh, I love this writing. The writing is really nice. I would say it's not like overly descriptive, super lyrical writing, but it's like sharp and kind of like a little bit punchy and real. Like, it sounds real. It sounds like writing that you read and you can picture kind of like exactly what's happening. It's visceral. I'll say that. Okay, I'm looking a little bit more human-like. I have no plans for today. Tomorrow we check out of this fine hotel and go on our little road trip to the Florida Keys. So I think today I will read for most of the rest of the morning and the afternoon. And then I think when my dad is freed from his thing that he's doing today, he's probably gonna want to go walk around. But like, honestly, I'm tired. There are some trips or vacations, I guess, that I go on where I don't want to rest at all. Like, I'm willing to put my body to the breaking point in order to really see and get the most out of my trips. Like in Japan, we did the most amount of stuff you could possibly do every single day without fail. I see other people go to Japan and they do like one thing during the day, and then I'm like, oh, maybe we like went too hard. Maybe we went too hard. But it was like mine and my boyfriend's top dream place for our entire lives. So, you have to go all out when it's a place that you've been dreaming about forever. But then there's some places, not to like be a downer, but there's some places that I just don't care about as much. Like, I'm happy to just kind of chill and enjoy my relaxing time. Oh God, I love the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I always make a mess of it. It's always all over my shirt. Anyway, okay, my question for you guys is, have any of you been on a cruise before? If you have, I want to know all the tea. Are cruises good or bad? I hear some people say, like some of my friends are like, I would never go on a cruise. You're out on the sea and there are no laws. And I'm like, that's what makes it exciting. Imagine if we come across pirates. But also, like, I love relaxing. So imagine being able to just chill and you go and get food and you can read and swim and lie around in the sun. That sounds nice. But only if it's like a nice cruise, which I don't know the difference. But I've heard some stories where they're not so great. But yeah, let me know if you've been on one and if you like them. Are you a cruise person or not? I would only want to go on a cruise though. Where I live in Vancouver, there's a lot of cruises that go through there and up to like Alaska and stuff. I can't say I would want to do those just because it would be fucking cold. But on the East Coast, I would love to do a cruise. Or I guess West Coast, but like California to Mexico or something. That would be fun. But definitely not where I live. I'm gonna hurry up
and finish my makeup, and then I'll see you again when I do my hair. My tiny, tiny hair that is non-existent. Okay, makeup's done. The lighting is so wacky because I have one of those light up mirrors in front of me. Friends, it is way later. I just finished stream and I need to cool off a little bit. I need to relax. And so I think what I'm gonna do is finish A Far Better Thing, the book I'm almost done with. I have like maybe 50, 60 pages left, and then we can talk about it because I need to finish that in order to finish this vlog, because I want to give you like two books. 2 fall reads. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some reading and then we'll talk about it. Okay, I'm on page 366 and the stress levels and the plot is just like out of control right now. The amount of plot that has been packed into like the second half of this book has been a lot. It's really entertaining and engaging, but at the same time, I have to like focus on it a lot. And with every step forward, it's like 2 steps back because there's just so many obstacles that these characters have to go through. And so, yeah, we're closing in on like the final bit and it's really stressful. It's very dark out. It's like 4 p.m., 3 p.m., but it's like nighttime. Okay, I just finished the last 50 or so pages of A Far Better Thing by H.G. Parry. What I've gathered from this is that I really need to read A Tale of Two Cities because I think a lot of the characters in this book are directly from A Tale of Two Cities. So it's basically like a fave retelling following the French Revolution. And I mentioned before that the plot towards the end of the book is like so fast paced. But basically, the first half of the book takes place in London, and we follow Sidney Carton. He is an attorney. He works in law. He comes across his changeling, Charles Darnay, and also the changeling of his childhood best friend, whose name is Ivy. In the real world, her name is Lucy. And their fates kind of all get intertwined based on like betrayal and revenge. There's a lot of revenge in this between different mortals in the story, also fairies seeking revenge. You get a lot of very messy relations between all of the characters, and the cast is not like huge, but it's kind of on the bigger side, and everybody has like a very interesting and fraught relationship to one another. So following all of that, I would say is very juicy. It's juicy and entertaining, but you do have to kind of pay attention. Like, I wouldn't be able to listen to this book as an audio book personally, just based on like how my retention abilities are. The second half of the book takes place in Paris, and you are like right in the throes of the French Revolution. It's very bloody, it's very violent, and there's a lot of horrible things that happen. So I would say it is definitely on the darker side. Good for fall. And the historical elements of this book are done really well in my opinion. Although I am saying that not having read A Tale of Two Cities, but I do, based on my limited knowledge, I do think that it was done well. I like the kind of integrations between the fantasy elements and the historical elements. It felt like it blended everything really nicely. The end got me. I shed a tear or two. Honestly, throughout a lot of the book, there was moments where I was like, oh, because it deals so much with like loss and grief and how far you will go for the ones you love. Yeah, I have to say I really enjoyed it. I don't think I have any other notes for this book other than a lot of it I feel takes place in winter, or maybe that's just recency bias because the last portion of the book takes place in winter. But it is very atmospheric and dreary, and I think like it's a good fall winter read for sure. I think I would give it something around 4 stars. That's what my heart's telling me. I did really have fun with this though. I'm interested in reading this author's other books. I know there's a few of them. But yeah, my hair is being really crazy today. I have to wash it. But anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it here for this vlog. I'm sorry that it went up late. I just have had a very weird month. But I think we're going to be getting back into the regular routine and everything, so you can look forward to some more. I'll probably do some more chill reading vlogs, and then probably some like paint with me, draw with me style videos, because I had a lot of fun making that last one. Yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!